Number 1. Windows. Imagine building a room that literally every person on Earth can walk into. That's Windows. The most used, the most flexible, and somehow the most complained about OS in history, all at the same time. The good? Runs on any PC, regardless of brand. Dell, HP, Lenovo, doesn't matter. Handles everything. Hardcore gaming, professional software, coding, office work. The most beginner-friendly interface, even your grandma knows how to open Chrome on it. The bad? Updates love to hit you at the worst possible moment, and this has been a problem since 1985. Heavy on resources, older or budget machines will feel the pain. Biggest target for viruses and malware precisely because it's everywhere. The blue screen of death? Still happening, still terrifying, still undefeated. So Windows works on everything and runs everything, but there's another OS that deliberately works on almost nothing, and people say it's the most polished experience in tech. How does that even make sense?
Number 2. macOS. What's the difference between a car assembled by a dozen different factories versus one built entirely under one roof? That's the gap between Windows and macOS. Apple controls every bolt, every screw, hardware and software together. The good? Total control over hardware plus software equals silky smooth performance with zero bloat. Creative professionals swear by it. Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, GarageBand, best in class. Seamless iPhone and iPad integration. Your texts, calls, and files just appear. Longer battery life, no forced update reboots, and crashes are genuinely rare. The bad? Want macOS? You have to buy Apple hardware. No alternatives, no workarounds. Gaming is practically a dead end. No DirectX, weak GPU options. Some professional software either doesn't exist on Mac or comes in a crippled version. macOS gives you perfection, but only if your wallet agrees. What if I told you there's an OS that's completely free, runs on your oldest hardware, and powers the servers behind Google, Facebook, and NASA?
Number 3. Linux. In 1991, a Finnish student named Linus Torvalds got annoyed at the operating systems available to him, so he built his own and gave it away for free. That decision quietly became the backbone of the modern internet. The good? Completely free, extremely lightweight, runs on machines from 2005 without breaking a sweat. Open source, modify it, fork it, rebuild it however you like. The most secure mainstream OS. It powers NASA, Facebook, Google servers, and more. Thousands of distros for every use case. Ubuntu for beginners, Kali for cybersecurity, Debian for servers. The bad? Not beginner-friendly at all. The command line is your best friend whether you like it or not. Most mainstream apps and games are built for Windows or Mac. Linux alternatives exist, but vary wildly. Expect a real learning curve before you feel comfortable. Linux is powerful, but demands expertise. What if Google took that same open source spirit and built something so simple that entire school systems adopted it overnight?
Number 4. Chrome OS. What if your computer had no local storage, no installed apps, no traditional file system, and it was actually a good thing? That's the bet Google made with Chrome OS. The internet is your hard drive. The good boots in literal seconds. No loading screen, no startup lag, just go. Extremely secure. Everything lives on Google's servers, not your device. Silent background updates. You'll never see an update notification again. Chromebooks are affordable, making them perfect for schools and offices. Access to the full Google Play Store. Millions of Android apps. The bad? No internet equals almost no computer. It's that simple. Heavy-duty apps like full Photoshop or professional video editors are off the table. High-end gaming is impossible, unless you lean on cloud gaming, which needs fast internet anyway. Chrome OS made the PC lighter than a notebook. But what about the device in your pocket right now? Did you know that same Android OS powers billions of phones, smart TVs, and even industrial systems simultaneously?
Number 5. Android. Here's something wild. Android is open source. Samsung, Xiaomi, Google itself, they all take the same base code and cook their own version of it. You're essentially running a custom remix of the same software everywhere. The good, the most customizable mobile OS alive. Themes, launchers, widgets, everything. Devices range from $80 to $1,500. A phone exists for
every budget. Google Play Store, millions of apps and games ready to go. USB transfers, SD cards, side-loading apps, maximum freedom. The bad. Not all devices get regular updates. Your phone might get abandoned after 2 years. Bloatware. Manufacturers love pre-installing apps you can't remove. Can feel less fluid than iOS on comparable hardware due to software fragmentation. Android gives you total freedom, but there's an OS that does the exact opposite. Locks everything down on purpose and somehow became the most profitable phone platform on Earth. How?
Number 6, iOS. Apple made a bold choice. We're not giving you full control. Instead, we'll control everything so tightly that you'll never need to troubleshoot a thing. Is that a cage or a gift? Depends who you ask. The good. Unmatched stability. A 2019 iPhone still gets full software updates in 2025. App Store is tightly curated. Far fewer malicious apps make it through. The Apple ecosystem is genuinely seamless. iPhone, Mac, iPad, Watch, all one experience. Developers release for iOS first. You get new apps before Android users do. The bad. No side-loading apps officially. What's not on the App Store simply doesn't exist for you. No expandable storage, no headphone jack, no flexibility on file transfers. iPhones are expensive, and new features are often things Android had 3 years ago. iOS perfected the lockdown experience. But here's a question. What if I told you there's an OS from the 1960s that still runs the world's most critical systems today, and it costs over $350,000 to deploy properly? Number 7, Unix. Before Windows, before Mac, before Linux, there was Unix. Built at Bell Labs in the late 60s, it was the grandfather of almost every operating system you've ever touched, and it's still alive in places where failure is simply not an option. The good. Rock-solid stability, designed to run for years without a reboot. Built for multi-user, multitask environments from day one. Handles extreme workloads, banking systems, scientific research, national weather services. The bad? The price tag is brutal. $1,447 per user. A company with 250 employees would spend over $350,000 just to deploy it. This is not for consumers. It's strictly enterprise territory. Unix costs a fortune and runs the big leagues. But did you know there's a free derivative and most people have never heard of it? Number 8, BSD.
You've probably never heard of BSD, but you've definitely used it. PlayStation runs on it. Some of the most secure network firewalls in the world rely on it. It just doesn't advertise. The good. Free, open source, and descended directly from Unix. Exceptional resource management. Handles enormous loads with remarkable efficiency. The go-to choice for servers, network infrastructure, and embedded systems. Powers pfSense and OPNsense, 2 of the most trusted firewall platforms out there. The bad. Much smaller community than Linux. Fewer tutorials, less support, zero appeal for everyday users. There's no desktop experience to speak of. End-user software is almost completely absent. And that's all 8. Windows, macOS, Linux, Chrome OS, Android, iOS, Unix, and BSD. Here's the real question. After everything you just learned, which one actually fits your life? The answer's different for everyone, and it might surprise you.
Conclusion. So that's the full picture. 8 operating systems, each built for a different purpose and a different set of trade-offs. Windows gives freedom. Mac OS gives polish. Linux gives power. Chrome OS gives simplicity. Android gives choice. iOS gives consistency. Unix gives enterprise-level reliability. And BSD quietly keeps the internet running in the background. None of them is the best, just the best for a specific kind of user. So which one fits you? If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.